Buy that for $1.
Welcome to the Dollar Club Wrestling Podcast, home of the Dollar Club Wrestling Show. I'm your host at Panetta Sexy Time. On the internet, people know me as the Dollar King, and I buy that for $1. Anytime I watch a show or attend a show, I give $1 to the hottest girl I see, because I'm a male chauvinist pig. Follow me on all social media at Panetta Sexy Time. And today we're going to talk about the Icons of Wrestling event at the old ECW Arena we all three of us went to. And here's my co-host, one of them.
Hey, it's me. I'm Johnny the Jobber. Very happy to be here. I'm also here with the Dollar Club champion.
Hey, everybody. What's up? Happy to be here with you. I'm Jim Prendy, a.k.a. Rock Hard Jim Prendy. I'm the Dollar Club Wrestling Show champion.
More like Cock Hard Jim Prendy.
And I'm laying the smack down on everybody's candy ass lately.
Real quick, guys, why we keep saying the Dollar Club Wrestling Champion? We have our own comedy wrestling show called the Dollar Club Wrestling Show. We also do a podcast where we discuss real stuff in wrestling, and we have our own promotion and we do promos against each other. We have our own show, and whoever gets the most likes on YouTube is our champion. And Rock Hard Jim Prendy is our Dollar Club Wrestling Champion. These things are heavy. It's actually 10 pounds of gold, like they said. And my wrestling name, one of my gimmicks is the Razor, and I'm not as good as Jim. I get a stupid cardboard belt.
Hey, I'm the Dong Skipper. I don't even have a belt, so I'm still working my way up. But someone's got to put you guys over. You know, I can't break kayfabe.
Well, that's because you're a streaker. Streakers don't have belts.
You can't break the streak.
And we're fans of all wrestling too. We're not AEW or WWE discriminant here.
Yeah, but fuck New Japan. All right, go ahead.
So we went to it was kind of like a Comic-Con for wrestling. It was at the old ECW Arena. And Johnny, tell them how it started.
Sure, man. It was great. Jim, thank you for driving. We left pretty early. Our rendezvous point was at Kevin's house. And we left, probably like 8:30, 9 in the morning. We were off to Philadelphia. It was all of our first times at the original ECW Arena. Kind of surprising. None of us had been there before, but better late than never. And it really felt like the ECW Arena. It was kind of like a grimy, Philadelphia alley street kind of setup. I was kind of rough finding parking, but aside from that, it was really cool to be there.
It was awesome, just the whole vibe, all wrestling fans. Like anyone you saw had a wrestling shirt on too. There's guys across from us in the parking lot, and I go, give me a hell yeah. You can't do that in the bars and stuff anymore. Like, just look like a weirdo. It's so cool just seeing all wrestling fans like we all are. We've been wrestling fans for life.
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think earlier, Dong, you said we were talking about how before we went in, we had a great convo in the car talking about old school wrestling and doing some entrance music trivia. Those were some good times, drinking the White Claws that you were so generous as to bring and share with us.
Absolutely. Thank you again for driving, man. That was basically, like a thank you. And so I appreciate you getting us there safe. And as we walked in, who were the first two guys we saw?
Enzo and Cass. It was awesome seeing them. I have a parody.
You're soft.
I have a parody character called Kevzo Amore too in our Federation too. So it was ironic that we saw Enzo first. Like I had to meet him. I should have told him that I have a parody character about him too. I have some pretty good catchphrases. I'm a 6 and I only date 9s. Let's get together and make that Pisces sign. How you doing? Kevzo Amore.
I'll give either one of you $100 now if you can do their whole spiel from WWE.
I'm sure I can't get a verbatim.
Now I already made my own based off of his, so I'll mix them both up. SAWFT soft.
And you can't teach that.
Yeah, I made sure I didn't steal his catchphrase.
Yeah, I used to know it because my son liked them a lot. So I don't remember what it was verbatim, but
that Certified G shirt I wish I bought. That was one of the coolest wrestling shirts ever too. It was awesome.
That was a great one. I actually went ahead and met those guys and got an autograph from my son Connor. And that was actually the picture I chose. They were both wearing the Certified G shirts. So my son's officially a certified G now. You certainly can't teach that. It was actually Big Cass that was nice enough to personalize it for him and, write to Connor, happy 13 weeks. He was literally turning 13 weeks old the very next day, that Sunday. So that was super cool. They were real nice guys. I was a little disappointed I didn't get to talk to them as long as I would have liked to. I got to talk to Enzo about like his old Champ sponsorship. He used to be sponsored by Champs and actually get to wear a brand new pair of sneakers to every match. But he told me, he's like, oh, that went away with the title. So, but it was super cool to meet those guys, despite not getting to talk to them too long.
Yeah, Cass was actually a really cool dude. He was asking like where to get a good cheesesteak at and stuff like that.
Cass said if I found him at the bar, he shots a fireball on him too. So Cass is a fireball guy. And the guy that collects their money too, he like as soon as he walked in there, he went up to me, he like grabbed my arm. He's like, you gotta arm wrestle Cass right now. And I'm like, dude, don't freaking kill me. Am I allowed to? I'd love to though. Can I film it? So I knew right away. They had my money right there. They would get an autograph picture, stuff like that. They were awesome, really cool guys. And we know he's W. Morrissey in Impact, but he's going to be Cass for always, forever.
Yeah, he looked pretty ripped.
Hey, Enzo looked ripped too, dude. He was bigger than us. He's a big, like you think of him as a small guy because he had that cruiserweight title, but he's thick, man. He looks a good like 240, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. Even next to Big Cass, like he just looked like he had that Gold's Gym like tank top on. Yeah, he looked shredded. We also saw Bret Hart too. He had a crazy long line.
I snaked a picture for free of him.
I was just gonna say you put the sharpshooter on Bret Hart.
Yep.
Snipe the picture.
Yep. I won't post it online. I don't want to get sued or anything. Sorry, Brett. Love it. We're big fan. I was an HBK guy. How about you guys? Are you Sean or Brett? I like Brett too. Brett was my dad's favorite wrestler. Maybe that's why I like Sean better because you can't like pick your dad's favorite wrestler.
I think probably back when that was going on, I probably was a Brett guy back in that time.
Well, I got 2 words for you, buddy.
Once DX came on now, I mean, that was something of its own accord there.
I was originally a Bret Hart guy during that time, and even when he was on WCW, because in my mind, I remember showing my age, but I actually rented WrestleMania 10 from Blockbuster when I was a kid. And it was that WrestleMania where Bret Hart wrestles both Owen Hart and Yokozuna in the same night. So I was like a big fan of Bret Hart. But then as I aged and, got more into DX and Shawn Michaels came back, I honestly think in hindsight, Shawn Michaels is definitely the bigger guy, in my opinion. Yeah. Him versus Triple H, him with DX, and so. I'm
actually a bigger fan of Triple H than all of them. I know the internet gives him a bum rap. I love Triple H. In my opinion, in my lifetime, he's the greatest heel. Jim doesn't see him as a heel, but I think he's the greatest heel.
Yeah, he was a good heel, but I don't know if if you look at his career, is he known as a heel or is he known as?
I think he's hated, especially on the internet community.
Well, I'll say this, man. My childhood favorite wrestler and all time is The Rock. I know that's kind of cliche, but during that early 2000s, it was really him versus Triple H, a lot. And Triple H was the heel with Stephanie. They had that entrance song, My Time. That era, Triple H was super heel. And then before the Evolution and all that,
Even Mick Foley was the face over Triple H, too. Triple H was definitely the bad guy back then.
Yeah, thinking about it now, in the Evolution and the corporation and all that, I guess, he was always the heel. So, but I do remember him, as the face, coming too, but probably primarily he was the heel, I guess you could say.
Well, speaking of heels, I met the female kind of promo leader of Right to Censor, no other than 3-time women champion, 2018 Hall of Famer Ivory, and that was definitely a big pleasure of mine. I always thought she was very underrated. So it was awesome to meet her. I immediately congratulated her on her Hall of Fame introduction. And she was super nice to me. She really talked to me for a good while. I talked about her matches with Jacqueline. And I mentioned how Jacqueline reminded me of Jade in AEW, and Ivory agreed, and Ivory, knew very well of Jade. So it's interesting to know Ivory does watch AEW, And also I talked to her because, she went on to do media for the WWE, but she told me I really always just wish I was still in my boots, meaning you can tell she's really passionate about the business, she loves, wrestling, and that's what she always wants to be doing. And, she was just an awesome woman to meet, total sweetheart, really nice to me. And even when I walked away from her, I was standing in line with you guys. And I realized, I'm like, oh, where's my beer? And I'm like, Ivory, do you have my beer? And she's like, oh yeah, I was wondering who this was. She talked to me like we knew each other forever. So
Yeah, you guys look good together. You look like definitely like you knew each other for years.
Yeah, I think Johnny fell in love.
No,
Don't tell his baby mama that.
Yeah, keep that a secret.
She watches the podcast. She was actually a big fan of our first one. So no, I'm certainly not going to run away with Ivory. But,
So,
I'm sorry, that was a joke. Mrs. Skipper, that was a joke.
So while Johnny was having his love fest with Ivory, I was actually busy doing my own thing with Mickey James. Right next to him, they're next to each other. I'm talking to Mickey, and I look over and I see Ivory dancing to him. So I start doing the robot. I made eye contact with Ivory, and I did the robot to her, and she did the robot back to me. So hopefully she remember if she ever watches this, she could remember the robot guy and your boyfriend. Just kidding. But Mickey James was a sweetheart.
I'm sleeping on Kevin's couch.
But Mickey James was a sweetheart though. I was actually starstruck. I'm like Mickey. I'm actually starstruck right now. And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Mickey, you're a legend." And she's like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" I could tell she could tell I was calling her old, but that wasn't what I meant at all. I'm like, "No, you're just like one of the greats of all time. You're not. I'm like a young great. I mean, you're like a young legend." She's like, "Oh, okay." Just smiling at me, and I was just I just made a dumb face. I had no idea what to say. And she's married to Nick Aldis too. So it's not even worth flirting. He's like a god,
Who was that? The girl with why can't I think of it? He was in WWE and he went to
Tony Storm.
No, not Tony Storm.
The
The guy and his girlfriend, they were together.
Oh, Scarlett and Karen Cross.
Yeah, Karen Cross.
Yeah, Killer Cross. Yeah, they were there too.
He looked different already. He looked.
Oh, he grew his
different.
hair out. He's doing a movie, so he grew his hair out. We didn't get to talk to him. We should have though.
Yeah,
We're big. I'm big on the Hameen Media Group, and he's a member there too. So I wish I would have got a chance to.
He's a pretty big dude, bigger than he looks on TV. Yeah.
All of them are bigger than they look on TV.
Especially Bully Ray. That really shocked me. I honestly didn't know it was him the first couple times I saw him. And then I saw his face. I'm like, holy crap, he's huge. He looks completely different than he did as a Dudley. He could be back in the ring as he's in way better shape, more intimidating looking.
I gave him a pound. I'm like, yo, Bully. He's like, yo. I'm like, yeah, my man.
But yeah, he's huge.
Yeah, he looked really healthy too. You could even see it in his face. He certainly hasn't aged much. He still kind of walked with a purpose. It wasn't like some old man. But
he wasn't even there for the event. He was there just to see friends. He was saying hi to the Hardy Boys and stuff like that too. He was just walking around.
I think
That's
he
awesome.
did set up a table though. I saw him at a table.
Well, I know he was wrestling at that arena the next day, so he was definitely there for that. I mean, I guess while you were there, I went in the room, went out to sell a couple shirts, right?
Yeah,
a couple pictures.
We also did see Sandman too. Walked by his table. I felt kind of bad not meeting him again, but Kevin and I did meet him at Legends of Hamburg. Got a great picture. Had a great conversation with him. I was just kind of penny pinching. It was cool getting a Sandman sighting, especially in Philadelphia. I feel like when Sandman's in Philadelphia, like an angel gets her wings.
Yeah, and there were just so many wrestlers just walking around at tables. And you look left, look right. There's Tony Storm here, Kelly there, James Ellsworth walking right next to us too. We didn't even say hi to him. We should have.
Comparing it to Legends of Hamburg, I felt like there was less fans and less wrestlers, so it was a little more of a casual setting. The lines were better. it felt like a little chaotic, like everything was aligned and you're asking people like, hey, what's this line for? What, you know what I mean? So but it was cool. There was more star power and whatnot, and it is in, Philadelphia.
This had a lot of the younger
As opposed to
wrestlers too. This had a lot of the younger wrestlers too. Legends of Hamburg was a lot of the older guys.
True. They definitely had their mix though. I mean, the New Age Outlaws were there, who we saw too. I really wish I would have bit the buck. I remember waking up that morning like, I'm going to meet the New Age Outlaws today. And I kind of can't believe I didn't. I just got so sidetracked with like Enzo and Cass and Ivory, Blue Meanie. So I never did get to meet them, but it was super cool seeing them. Billy Gunn is in great shape. And the Road Dogg was there too.
Not in great shape.
And Kelly called me out. I'm like, I gotta get a picture of Kelly. She looked phenomenal. I think she looks better than ever. She looked amazing. She was really nice too.
Yeah. You got a picture with every girl there, didn't you, Kev?
No, just Kelly, Mickey
Spent like
James.
$1,000 on girls' pictures.
The hottest girl there, she's the glamour, Mariah May. She'll be in AEW eventually. She was freaking hot. Like if I had to give my dollar out, I'd buy that for $1. Mariah May, you win the dollar if you ever see this. And then Sky Blue was supposed to be there. She's really hot on AEW and NWA. I couldn't find her. I was gonna get an autograph with her.
Johnny, I think why it was probably so different. I mean, I wasn't at the Hamburg with you guys, but the Hardys being there, I mean, the Hardys line was in every other line.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, it was
like
ridiculous.
If you're looking at lines like a map, it was like the Hardys line was like the turnpike, and then you had to find the exit to the Blue Meanie and everyone else.
That's the week Jeff returned to AEW TV too. So it was like a big deal.
I mean, we got a line for you to see Ivory, and we were like, which was on the other side of the arena than the Hardys were, and we're like, is this the line for Ivory? No, we're in line for the Hardys. Like,
right across the tables from Ivory was Chris Masters too, so we didn't know which side of whatever side we were standing on. Like, I'm just like, yo, is that Chris Masters? And they're like, yeah, say hi. I'm like, I'm in line for Mickey. I want to, but
we did wind up getting a picture with Matt Hardy though.
Yeah, Jim, tell me about that.
Well, my son is a Hardys fan, and I wanted to get a picture for him, but the line was way too long, and the money that it cost to pay to get a picture with the Hardys was like $200 or something like that. And I'm like, I don't think it's worth paying that to get a picture with the Hardys. But anyway, we kind of finagled it to where I was standing. We had a good shot of Matt Hardy, and I kind of stood next to him, little camera action manipulation. And, me and Matt got in the picture together.
Yep, I might have wrote some copyright laws on that one.
Completely free.
Cool. Yeah, you didn't have to pay to talk to everybody. We just didn't know if it'd be rude if we didn't ask. I said I talked to Nyla Rose for free. I talked to Brian Cage for free, which is a good experience.
I'm sure people were there. They didn't say you couldn't take pictures.
Nah. Yeah,
so I don't think it's
So I saw Brian Cage right when he was finishing up doing his autograph thing, and I didn't see him the whole time. How do I miss a giant like that? And I'm like, I go to him like, Brian, you were here the whole time? So yeah, I was here the whole time. And I'm like, well, why haven't you been on TV, dude? You're the fucking man. He's like, I know that. I get asked this all the time. Like, he was all pissed off.
He definitely has a complex.
Yeah, and Jim said he was side-eyeing me too. I'm like, dude, I've been a fan here since Lucha Underground. I'm a big freaking fan, dude. I got a picture of him, but he definitely was in a bad mood.
Yeah, he rubbed me the wrong way there.
I'm still a fan, Brian. I hope you get on TV more. I saw you're on Ring of Honor now, so I'll be watching you. No offense. No offense taken.
Well, while you guys were in the bathroom, I didn't have to go, so I literally stood outside the bathroom waiting for you guys like a dork. And I saw Gilbert walk by, and I don't know why. I just didn't have the nerve to run up and talk to him. He was literally walking by, and I was thrown off. I'm like, is this Gilbert or is this guy cosplaying Gilbert? But it turned out he was on the promotion.
Talk about our favorite, the Meanie.
Yeah, I said it in Hamburg when I met him, and I'll say it again. The best bang for your buck. If you're ever at a wrestling promotion, you got to talk to the Blue Meanie. When people think of great jobbers, people throw the Brooklyn Brawler's name out there a lot, but the Blue Meanie is like the Philadelphia Brooklyn Brawler. He's such a good guy, super nice guy, and $10. And, you know, I was wearing a BWO shirt, so maybe that got me brownie points. And I said, I'm like, hey, do you remember me? And like he said yes, but who knows if he did or not. But he was super nice. And for $10, got an autographed picture from my son. And then he took a picture with Kevin and I. And he said the same thing that he said in Hamburg. He was like, oh, meanie in the middle. So it's super funny and super good to see him. I did drop, I'm like, hey, Kevin and I did a podcast for Dollar Club Wrestling. You're the thumbnail. So I don't know. It was cool. I wish I would have talked to him more about wrestling. I was so like trying to plug our podcast a little bit that I almost like bypassed it. But it was super cool, you know.
The next time we go and he's there to something, we need to ask him about, you know, what really happened there when he got his ass beat by, you know,
JBL. I did.
JBL.
I talked to him about his
did
hammer.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
And I felt like a dick because he probably gets asked that all the time. And he's like, oh, you know, like it happened. It was what it was. And we wind up making money off it because they actually did do a match after the fact. And JBL put the Blue Meanie over. So, yeah, it's actually a good match if you watch it. I believe it's a SmackDown match if you just YouTube Blue Meanie versus JBL. But
Jim,
yeah, it was fucked up.
Rhino had my favorite story that we've ever met, too. He said how Mother's Day is ruined for him. Apparently, like, he power bombed somebody through a table on Mother's Day, and he goes, "Happy Mother's Day, bitch," in the old ECW shows. So, like, Raven and Sandman call him every Mother's Day. Say, "Happy Mother's Day, bitch."
That's great.
Yeah, so if we ever see Rhino again, too, we're going to say that to him. "Happy Mother's Day, bitch."
Guess what's going in our group text on Mother's Day?
Yeah, Happy Mother's Day, bitch. Yeah, we got a picture with Bret Hart, legend.
Real quick, just one thing I forgot to mention about Ivory, because I got it for my son. There's pictures to choose from when you get an autograph, right? So she had one that was like a right to censor picture that I almost picked because I really respect her time with the right to censor. And she had this other like scandalous picture of her in like lingerie. And I almost got it for my son because I thought he'd appreciate it down the road. But I asked Ivory, I'm like, hey, what picture do you think I should get like for my son? And she pointed out to the one I got where she's, you know, it's just like her normal like attire and whatnot. She looks real strong and buff. So I kept it a little PG for Connor. But sorry, little buddy, that I didn't bring you home some titties.
I wish we went to a bar afterwards and like try to meet some of the guys, like hung out with them, got a couple drinks or something.
Did you guys? I don't know if you guys noticed this, but did you notice that Michael Spinks was there?
No,
I didn't. No.
Yeah, he was there. There wasn't really a line there. I walked by him a couple of times. Do you remember? Do you know who Michael Spinks is?
Boxer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyson beat him, right?
Like he beat him in like
yeah, and he was
30
like
seconds or something like
yeah.
that.
Tyson was like
90 seconds
Yeah,
for the championship.
there were so many people there too. It was cool just seeing like there was so many like independent wrestlers walking around next to us. So I wish we would have recognized who they were. Like Lady Frost was like walking with me. I think she was in line with me to get food and stuff too. Like I wish I knew more of her like repertoire, like of her history. I would have like I had no idea what to say to her. Like, hey, I didn't even know what promotion she's in.
I
right
know.
now, you know. Probably NWA. Probably I'm not sure.
Like James Ellsworth walked by me and Kev, and we're like, "Oh, what's up?" I'm like, "Damn, we should have just went up and got a picture with him. Yeah, that would be a cool picture. Just like, look at this dude, you know."
Yeah,
But,
for anyone out there that's like going to go to a wrestling convention, like without being a dick, like my advice is shoot your shot, because I always leave it like, oh, I wish I would did this. Oh, I wish I would did that. Like, you know, like talk to the wrestlers till they almost like kind of hint at you to like walk away, because I'm always like, oh, I could have talked to this person longer. I could have did this. Maybe I could have got a picture with this person. Like, shoot your shot, but be respectful about it is my advice.
I really think Blue Meanie recognizes too. I think if you keep going to these things too, like the guys will remember you. They'll probably like do a little more if you keep going to these things.
Yeah. And it was one of those things, like, I feel like I didn't even talk to him that long. Like, we could have probably, like, hung out there and talked to him for, like, fucking 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, but nobody pushed us away. We could have talked to everybody longer, to be honest, I feel like.
I'm just the awkward bastard. I'm just fucking, I don't know. Like I feel like even with like Ivory and everyone, just like at one point, like the conversation kind of died. I'm like, all right, it's just nice to meet you. And like I leave, but I really could have like hung and like kept chatting.
Try to think of something ahead of time to talk about too. Like I'm just there starstruck. If I had like a game plan, I would have had like a better stories and better conversations too.
Yeah,
So
don't be
just
a,
like, Mickey, oh.
Yeah.
Kelly,
Don't be-
Kelly, oh.
Yeah.
don't be a fanboy.
Yep.
But I'm a fanboy. You know, that's
Even
why
if
I
it's
was
your first
there.
rodeo, pretend it's not your first rodeo.
Yeah. Hey, I feel like we kind of skimmed over the New Age Outlaws a little bit.
I wish we talked to him, but Billy Gunn is a freaking beast, man. He's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I really wish I would have too. I really like woke up that morning like, oh, I'm definitely going to like meet him, and for some reason I just didn't want to like put out the money. I don't know what it was. I felt like I spent like a lot of money already at the time.
They were in a back corner, and I think we already spent we saw like 4 people already, and we wanted to see them originally at the most. We already like blew more than we intended to, you know. So
I was
that's what-
going to for my son, but then I saw it was like $70 or something like that.
That's
Like,
great for both of them.
I don't know if it was for both or not, but
In hindsight, then, if that's the case, I hate to say this. I hope they never see this. Big Cass and Enzo, you guys were super nice, but in hindsight, I really wish I would have took the money I spent on you guys and went to the New Age Outlaws. That would have been the strat.
Not me. I had to see Enzo. My gimmick. I love my Enzo boy. I wish I talked to him more.
and they were the first ones we saw there, so we, it was like, oh
Yeah.
man, look, yeah.
But we're basically like, that's why they put like candy by the cash register. So you'll like grab, like, oh, I'm right here. Like that was, that was basically like that.
Tony Nese was there too. That's right. I saw him. He was wearing a Mets hat, and I go up to him. I'm like, "That's the wrong hat to be wearing in Philly." He's like, "I still got to represent New York." I forgot about that. He was cool.
What did you
I think he was
guys?
there- I think he was there with like his mom or somebody too, which is really nice.
What did you guys think about the bar we went to for lunch?
I wish it wasn't dead, man.
I kind of liked it like that.
It was cool, but I was like hoping to see celebrities.
Yeah, because like I remember we went to a bar in like Hamburg, and there was other people from the convention there, so it was kind of cool. Like it felt like we were still talking, but it was just us. But it was a cool time. I enjoyed it. It had a pretty good cheesesteak. We were in Philadelphia, so of course I felt required to get cheesesteak, right?
It was
And,
a Philly. It was a Philly corner bar. It was cool.
I went to a Monster Con before. DDP was actually there. He was a really nice guy. But it was at like a convention center hotel kind of thing. So at the hotel bar, like in between their autograph sessions, people were just drinking, and like all the celebrities were right next to us. It was pretty cool. Like the guy who plays, his name's Keith David. He's in like They Live with Roddy Piper. Like he was like he was doing, I don't know if he was drunk, but he was singing. He's got a great singing voice. He was just like hanging out at the bar singing and stuff like that too. And the girl from The Exorcist, all grown up and stuff too. It was like
Linda Blair.
one of them. I don't know.
But was it like the chick, like the girl that pukes and?
Isn't she dead? That girl.
Linda
Somebody from-
Blair. No,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
not dead.
Okay, yeah, it might have been her.
It was probably her because I know she goes around doing stuff.
Yeah, I only got a picture. I went with a girl like on a date. She was like a big. What's his name? The dude from Jamie Kennedy was there. He was like hitting on the girl I brought there, and so was Matthew Lillard from Scream. They were awesome though. They were really nice. Matthew Lillard said hi to it. He like walked up to us. We didn't have to pay anything too. I didn't get any pictures of him. She did.
Yeah, like who are we forgetting? I'm just afraid we're gonna like forget someone. I met Big Cass and Blue Meanie and Ivory. I got to talk about all those pretty much, right?
Yeah. Who else did I get pounds to? I was giving pound. I was like the pound.
I know you were just like the pound champion.
Yo.
You're Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Billy Bully Ray did. Road
Tony-
Dogg, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, Tony Nese, Nyla Rose.
We saw the Sandman. We saw Bret Hart. We saw the Hardys. Jim got his famous picture with the Hardys.
Man, we're definitely missing a lot of people. There's so many people.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have gotten to meet Man Pondo. I don't know if you guys are real familiar with him or JCW, but He was in a video game called Backyard Wrestling that I had for the PlayStation 2. And I remember seeing him on the card, and it just like took me back to like 2006. I'm like, holy shit, I remember that guy from the video game. So I went in there thinking like he can't be too expensive. But yeah, I don't even know if I saw him or if he was there, but I never did see him or get to meet him.
The Headbangers were there.
Yes.
Yeah, they walked right
One
by
of
us,
them.
too.
One of them was there.
But they both were there doing the autograph. They
I
walked
thought
by
I
us.
only saw one there. Both
Maybe
of
you're in
them.
the bathroom again. One time.
Again.
They definitely both were there.
Yeah. Maybe one left because later on I only saw one sitting at the.
Yeah, I
Was it
saw
Mosh or
one.
Thrasher?
What's that?
Was it Mosh or Thrasher?
I don't know.
Okay. I wouldn't know him part either.
I think it was Mosh. He's like the bigger one, right?
Yeah, it was beaver cleavage.
Yeah, I think it was Mosh. You know who else was there that we didn't mention? Eugene.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. I can't believe none of us met him, actually, myself included.
Yeah, I'm a big Eugene fan. I heard he was like really good friends with Randy Orton in real life, which is funny that you wouldn't see them hanging out. I know he's not really a Eugene character, but that's how you think of him, you know?
Right. I don't know. For this remaining time, what's some like modern stuff going on you guys want to talk about?
Cody, man. How do you guys like Cody being back in WWE?
I think it's cool. I feel like they're pushing him hard too.
It's cool, but I don't know what this crap is about him with the title.
Oh, he
I
better
mean-
get the title.
Stop it. Cody Rhodes is going to beat Roman Reigns.
No, they're gonna separate the titles. Roman Reigns will put one on the line, like put one up.
No, I don't agree with that. I think they need to keep him being the unified champ for a while.
Well,
What do you do with everybody else?
He said on the show that he's there to be the WWE undisputed champion.
That you're right. He did say that.
So the fact that he said that to me sounds like he's gone for, both titles, undisputed champion. So he's at the very least going to have a match with Roman Reigns.
I don't think he's the one to dethrone Roman
How
Reigns.
about this? Remember when The Miz beat John Cena because The Rock? What if The
Yeah.
Rock does this for Cody and then he fights Roman Reigns?
If The Rock
Huh?
does
Huh?
what?
He comes out and rock bottoms Roman Reigns when the ref isn't looking. Cody gets the pin, sets up a Roman Reigns versus
Oh,
Rock.
something like that. Then I could see it. But
That'd be
doing
cool.
it like clean, like I don't think Cody's the one to be dethroning Roman Reigns.
Kevin, though, that actually makes a shitload of sense because then you could have The Rock versus Roman Reigns at Mania not needing the title and then
Yeah.
still get a main event title match. So
Then
that-
you
Yeah, I
know,
agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah. Then
Yeah,
it
that
doesn't
no,
matter.
Kevin.
who wins.
That's why you're the Valor King.
And we're going to be attending an independent show in Ohio in a couple weeks too, a PWA Royal Rumble. So that'll be fun too. You'll see some footage of that too. We'll meet some guys too, some independent guys. Rockhard Jim Prenny's going to show his belt, the Dollar Club chant.
Yeah. I wish I could be there, guys. I'm just saying it now. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it. But Kev, I wish you the best of luck, man. Kick some ass in there. Jim, hold it down. I know you're going to have fun and get some awesome content for us. I wish I could be a part of it, but you guys have fun and be safe out there.
Cool. And then everybody watching this too, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our promos too. Hit like on some too. Like Rockhard's the champion right now, and we want to beat him. So give us some likes, give us some love. Dong Skipper needs that Intercontinental Championship belt, and the Dollar King wants that world title.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah, give us check us out. Give us a like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. If you like what you hear, we're going to keep providing content. Hopefully you guys like it. We'll try to come up with new and fresh stuff as often as we can. If you want to get involved in the promo thing with us, just shoot us over a comment or message.
And shoot me an
Yeah.
email, kevflix2424@gmail.com if you want to do a promo too. Like we accept fan promos too. If you get more likes, you're the champ. You get the belt. And also follow us on TikTok. We have a pretty good following on TikTok, believe it or not. My personal account at Panetta Sexy Time and Dollar Club Wrestling. both on TikTok. And we're not all comedy too. Like the wrestling stuff, it's like we do podcasts just like this, and we do like a lot of comedy, and we do a lot of serious promos as well. It's not just all comedy. So bring your A game. I have a comedy character. I have a serious character. I guess I'm breaking kayfabe right here. I should just pick one and stick with one. And this is the Panetta Sexy Time.
Yeah, you have how many different guys have you done? You done Caveman Kev, Country Boy Kev, what's the name?
Country Kev.
Country
Country
You have a great accent.
Kev, take me home to the place, Alabama. Fuck your sister.
I gotta say though, the one we just did with Mike,
Yeah, that's good.
he was great in that.
Yeah, the Great Northman.
Yeah, that was well, you know, the production and
acting.
all on that was. I thought the production was real good in that, and Mike did a really good job. So
And we actually got accepted for a pro wrestling tee store too. I didn't design any shirts yet, but we're gonna have some shirts coming out soon too. So we'll definitely Dollar Club wrestling shirts. There'll be a Rock Hard Jim Frenny shirt, a Dong Skipper shirt. I think it's either gonna be a Dong 316 or a Degeneration Dong.
the bad tipper.
The bad
Well,
tipper, Notorious Bad Tipper.
Next podcast, we'll have to tell him why you're such a bad tipper there, Johnny.
Notoriously.
I'm still trying to find the excuse. I don't know.
Yeah, stay tuned for that story because it's a doozy.
And not to toot my own horn real quick too. Like I do all the producing, like I edit everything. I do all the graphic design. I find all like copyright free music. I do my own vocals too. It's a lot of hard work, and I'm just buying more equipment, better lighting. So just support us any way you can. It's very painstaking. I'm gonna edit this too, music to it. It's tough. It's tough. So hopefully it all is worth it one day. You know, we're just gonna hopefully keep growing and keep growing.
Well, we have fun, and that's what matters. We're just going to
Yep.
try to keep it real, have fun, and hopefully you guys like it.
Yep, it's our passion. And I hope you guys like what we do. Have a good night, everybody. Panetta Sexy Time, Dollar Club Wrestling. You guys got any goodbyes?
I don't know. It's been real. It's been a fun podcast. See you guys next time. I hope to keep doing this. We're just going to keep going to events and having fun and hanging out. And as long as wrestling's around, we're probably going to talk about it.
Jim,
Yep.
you like Putin? Do you like Putin?
Putin? Do I like Putin?
Putting this dick in your mouth.
Everybody, we'll see you next time.
All right, see you next time, guys.
It was fun. Take care.
Take care.
Who would you bang first on Saved by the Bell?
I
What would your order be?
think every person in the world was a Kelly Kapowski girl, but then Showgirls came out, and Jesse Spano was pretty freaking hot. But that scene in the pool too with the black dude, just like, just like banging him like that. That was pretty. I'd like to experience.
I
That
think I'd still go Kelly Kapowski.
I want them to make since Bruce Willis retired. I want them to make like a Carl Winslow spinoff because he was in the
Take
first
this-
two Die Hard movies.
This off. I don't want
That'd be cool if they do it right.
He was a cop in it too. You could play it off, like whatever his name was in Die Hard was like his private detective
There
name
we
or
go.
something.
It'd be better than like Fuller House.
Song. Andy
All right.
Morton. Andy Morton in the house.
Oh!
There's another one of our podcast mates, everybody. Andy
Look
Morton
who
here.
popped in. The
Famous
Irish
Jake.
potato. Andy Morton.
What's up, man?
Yeah. Did you ever hear about Evander Holyfield's interview after like his second loss ever? They're like, so like, why'd you lose? Like, is it tough to train as well? And he's like, when you're sitting in a mansion, it's tough to wake up at 5 a.m. and go running and work out like it used to be.
Like Rocky 3, Mr. T.
So,
Rocky lost the eye of the tiger. He had to go back to the slums to get it back.
Yeah. And then
Paulo.
Thor had to go to Russia.
I saw a movie with Sylvester Stallone that was called Copland.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie, but I swear his lines were like, "Oh, I did the wrong thing." And then at the end of the movie, he shoots up 3 people, and that's it.
There's more to it than that.
I'd buy that for $1.